You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It's your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging out with you guys in studio. And today we have another great guest interview for you guys to keep the show going. And we're super excited about that. We've got none other than Brent Corson on with Southeastern Lawn Pros from Waycross, Georgia. So, Brent, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Did I get it right, Corson?
That's right. You sure did.
I know. I'm batting 1,000 today, so but
that's right.
It's also first thing in the morning, man. So who knows what's going to happen today, right?
That's right.
But no. And here's the deal, guys. I'm so excited about bringing you guys these shows the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. While you guys are out there, maybe just kicking open the gate and getting out there for your first couple cuts of the season, doing your spring cleanups. But I want to. I've said this on a previous podcast. I didn't want it to just be the whole podcast for YouTubers and Instagram people. I want to get regular, normal, everyday folks that run lawn and landscape businesses, that have successful businesses, and get you guys on the show. And I know so many of you guys are listening in all the time. We get the reviews, and we really appreciate the support, and hopefully it helps you guys out with just staying motivated and staying positive during the day. But Brent and I have been messaging back and forth this last few weeks, and he's like, "Hey, I got a good story. Can I share it on the show?" And I said, "Absolutely." So Brent, why don't we do this? Let me kick it over to you for a quick minute or two, and why don't you get these guys up to speed about just who you are, maybe your background, and maybe just some stats about yourself.
All right. I am Brent Corson on Southeastern Lawn Pro. I'm 33 years old. We're from Waycross, Georgia. We are a lawn care and landscape business. We got just one full-time employee and me, and I run part-time people sometimes when we need extra help. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Awesome, man. How many customers do you guys have right now, and what do you guys focus on, more landscaping or more lawn maintenance?
More lawn maintenance. Probably about 36 accounts. About 10 dropped us in the days of winter because there just wasn't no to do. They just didn't want to do year-round. But most of our accounts in this area are year-round. And in our free days, we keep at least 1 to 2 days a week free to be able to do landscapes and cleanups, stuff like that, make extra money.
Absolutely. You got the Richie Plemons Southern drawl, man. I love my Southern folks. You guys.
That's right.
You guys are always so kind and hospitable. Is that the word? And
yeah.
You guys. I mean, every time I go travel in the South, people are just nicer. And I was in Waco, Texas, a few weeks back, and everybody there's like, "Hey, welcome to Texas, y'all." And Up here in the north in Michigan, everybody wants to cut you off in traffic and punch in the nose. So it's my wife always jokes. We both feel like we should have been born in the South because everybody's just nicer down there. But I digress. Well, and by the way, help me out a little bit. Waycross, Georgia. Where is that in relation to like Atlanta? Are you guys on the East Coast or more central, or where are you guys at?
More the East Coast. We probably ain't. We're maybe an hour from the beach with St. Simons Island. We're about 4 hours away from Atlanta, about an hour, 10, 15 minutes from Jacksonville, Florida. So we're all around, close to all these big areas with just driving distance.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome. So you guys are just a few hours away from Paul Jameson, man, the Green Industry Podcast.
That's right.
There you go. It's like just close enough to visit him, but just far enough away to, if he's weird, you don't
stay away.
You can stay away. And
exactly right.
shout out to my friend Paul Jameson, who runs the Green Industry Podcast, and he's got a great show that comes out every day. And he's one of my running buddies, So,
that's right.
Well, let's do this. I want to hear a little bit more about your startup story and Southeastern Lawn Pros. Like I said, I was going through your DMs last couple of weeks. We were messaging back and forth, and was going on your Instagram profile earlier and just noticing some pretty cool mowing, footage and stripe game and cutting grass, and has some great equipment. And you just want to hear a little bit more about your startup story. So let's do this. Somebody else that we want to also hear a little bit more from, and that is the best producer in the biz, who's going to give you guys all these show updates, highlights, and all the what's new and trending with the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast.
Hard to believe, but just over 1 month from today, it is the Together in the Trades Conference. That's for any lawn care or contractor couples that just want to intentionally work together, building a healthy marriage. It's June the 12th, Waco, Texas. Friday night, the 11th, an unofficial meetup at the Silos. That's Chip and Joanna Gaines' place. And then the event, Saturday, all day, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Brian and Liz Fullerton, along with their friends Caleb and Brittany Allman, Have just noticed over the years a strong demand for couples who want to work on their marriage and grow a thriving business, but also struggle with just learning how do you work with your spouse in this process. Guest speakers are going to be Brad and Tammy with Tandem Marriage. You can learn more about them on episode number 32 of Caleb's podcast called the Kid Contractor Podcast. And then Bill and Joyce Harley with Marriage Builders are also going to be keynote speakers. In addition, Sean and Savannah Spencer with Spencer's Lawn Care, the Almonds, the Fullertons will be speaking, a couple of other speakers, and my boy, Paul Jameson of the Green Industry Podcast. He'll be serving as the MC, so that's going to make it a lot of fun. Some of the topics: making decisions together, how to leave your career to work full-time with your spouse, imposter syndrome. I know a lot of folks struggle with that. Leaving a legacy, being strong by yourself first, then stronger together. Love Busters. Hey, I'm interested in that one. So much more. Check it out. The Together in the Trades link is in the program description, or you can search for it over at Eventbrite. Several have asked, will Mr. Producer be there? And unfortunately, the answer is no. I've got to stay here and work. I've got alimony payments that are due soon, and unless you guys just want to add that to your budget, I strongly suggest you attend the event.
Hey, Lenny Magnol here. As a product manager at Exmark, I'm focused on innovations that keep your mowers up and running, so they'll be ready to roll whenever there's grass to be cut. Our new Tractus airless drive tires maximize the productivity and uptime performance of our Laser Z mowers. When combined with our semi-pneumatic front caster tires, Tractus eliminates flat tire-related downtime. When you've had enough of productivity-killing flat tires, it's time for Tractus. Learn more at exmark.com.
You know why your back hurts and your posture sucks? Because you don't have Darwin's grip for your trimmer. Now you can stand up straight, reducing fatigue and strains, and even achieve precise trimming by getting you closer to the line. Save 10% with Brian's 10 at darwinsgrip.com.
All right, good deal, guys. Well, let's just jump right back into it and not waste any of Brent's time here. So, Brent, let's just go into your startup story, man. I know so many folks, it just really helps to relate when people hear where you came from and where you're at and where you're going. But so you're 33 years old, you said?
That's right.
And
I just turned 33, January 28th.
Well, hey, I just missed you by a few weeks, man. Congratulations.
That's right.
So the birthday check is in the mail. You know what I'm saying? So
That's right.
Well, we'll send that invoice to Paul Jameson. So, but what's your background? Have you been cutting grass this whole time, last 10, 12 years, or did you have a career before that, or what's your story?
Basically, like most of us, everybody says when they're teenagers, we all mowed the neighbor's yard. People, family, friends, stuff like that. My papa would take me around. I'd actually go to some people's house, use their mower, and cut their grass for like $20. and then, I got out of it, got driving, got away from all that, and always cut my own grass. Always loved cutting grass. I just loved being outside, being on the mower. And about August 2019, I've been working at CSC, which is a railroad around here.
Yeah.
I've been working there almost about 10 years then. And I always worked overtime. I always loved working. I just got to stay busy. I can't sit at home. I can't stand sitting down.
Mm-hmm.
I like to work. And overtime always got a little scarce every year, and it got worse and worse. So I debated on starting a lawn care business. I knew several people, several friends, several railroaders that had their own lawn care business, and we decided to start up.
That's awesome, man. That's really, really cool. I'm actually low-key a big railroad train person and fan. I'm not making.
Drive one.
Yeah, I would drive one. I would drive one right now. Is it fun?
Yes, it is.
I wanted to be a train engineer, right? Isn't that what they call them, a conductor?
That's right. And I was a diesel mechanic. I worked on them.
No way. No kid.
Yep.
So what?
I loved it.
What's the horsepower on the? I know it's an electric motor that is powered by the gas engine, but what do those things crank out?
About 4,000 horsepower, most of them.
Jeez, oh, Pete's.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Most of them are 12 and 16 cylinder diesel engines.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, big cylinders, probably a foot wide, right?
That's right. Big, yes.
Gosh, that's awesome. For all my trained people out there, we're Googling them, right now, and For all the rest, the other 99% of you guys, you're like hit and skip 30 seconds ahead, right? Amen. I know,
right.
I know how it goes. I've been there too. So I have a friend, Randy with G4 Outdoors. He's friends with Andy from Cut and Clean. And Randy and I shoot messages all the time back and forth because he works in the trains. I don't know what he does. I think he's an engineer, maybe a locomotive engineer as well. But so he always sends me hats for like Santa Fe and CSX and all these different things. And so a little special place in my heart for trains, man. Every time I see a train, I'm always the kid out the window honking it with the train horn. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, I know you guys didn't come for that, but just a little bit more about me. You know what I'm saying? But so you were working at the for the train company and like it, didn't like it, or like you said, you just wanted to have some more options with a lawn and landscape business, or what was the allure of Congress?
That's right. Just kind of, to make extra money. I love lawn care. I just absolutely loved it. And like I said, overtime was scarce, and so we started it. It was just me, and I had a little 6x12 trailer, open trailer, and I had like a 46-inch residential Husqvarna lawnmower.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you just started cutting some grass on the side while you were working for the train company?
That's right. I had a good buddy, like I said before, when we were talking before we started. I had a good buddy that had a larger lawn care business who had already been in business about 2 or 3 years. Mm-hmm. Called him, talked to him about it, got it started, and anything that he couldn't handle, he would give me. And as soon as we got started, I could tell right away that residential mower wasn't going to make it. We was actually in one of his yards. The belt kept popping off and broke. Had to go around the road, load the mower up, go down the road, buy a new belt, come back. Then the deck fell. I loaded up that same day and went straight down to the dealer and bought a brand new Gravely Pro Turn 152.
Okay. That's awesome, man.
And then,
so the we don't see a lot of Gravely around here, but is that a zero turn or a walk behind?
Yeah, zero turn.
Okay, and what was that? 48 or 60 inch or
52 inch?
52. All right, there you go.
That's right.
That's awesome, man. I know a lot of you guys have different grass types down there in Georgia, so we don't see the same mowers or how they're set up the same compared to some of the equipment you guys got down there. What's some of the popular brands that you guys are working with down there?
Mostly Gravely and Skag.
Okay, very cool. Well, good brands, both great companies, good people there. That's awesome. So you've been running your own business now for about 2 years. What have you learned, and what are you focused on right now? Was it just a lateral move right from the train company, or did you take a little probably step backwards financially to springboard forward, or how's everything going for you guys?
Well, once we started, like I said, August 2019, we picked up about 5 yards by that December within a few months.
Wow.
Lost a couple, around January when it really got cold. It's mostly year round here where we live at. Mm-hmm. And then come about March that following year, 2020, I decided to go ahead and buy a 7x14 enclosed trailer because I didn't have a shop. I needed to be able to keep my stuff loaded up and locked up, and I knew I needed a second mower eventually. So we went ahead and purchased a trailer, which ended up working out great. Mm-hmm. And then come about end of April, I got laid off from CSX after 12 years. And so I no longer had a job. And so we was full-time. Yeah. And at the time, I'd actually got to about 25 yards. And so we never looked back. And I've been full-time ever since. So it's almost been a year since I've been laid off. Like I said, we got about 36 clients now. But it don't sound like a lot, but the money's there.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
That's awesome. So do you think hindsight 2020, like what do they always say, like fix your roof before it rains or dig your well before you need it, whatever those analogies are, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you were kind of doing like nights and weekends for about a year or two? And then, cause I'm sure some other guys got laid off and they didn't really have any plan Bs,
That's right. And they had to get jobs and rely on unemployment or was in bad situations. Mm-hmm. But we never missed anything in 2020. It was actually our best year. Period.
No kid.
with life in with lawn care, it was just exploded.
Yeah, absolutely. 2020, with all the craziness that was 2020, I'll tell you what, I don't mind the year. Like, I still did okay financially, but I'll tell you what, man, like 2020 for everybody was an interesting year. Say no more. But let me ask you this. How did you know what to do getting in business for yourself with lawn care and landscaping? I know you said you were like a lawn care, nut, like my friend Alan Hain. But how did you know, like, how to cut lawns, how to do pine straw, or did you have to learn as you go? What was that first 12 months like? Because I'm sure it was a lot of new stuff.
Funny story, actually. when I worked at the railroad, I had a tool room job, which was a very easy job. All you did was sit in a room and hand out tools. And we had a computer access to the internet, and we sat there and watched YouTube. And my buddies that worked there with me, they would come in and hang out. And once I started getting in lawn care, I just got a real obsessive personality. So anything I start, I just get obsessed with it, and I just constantly look at it. And I found Brian Lawn Maintenance. It's his turf, stead, top notch, Wally from Beach River, Witchy Plymouth. And I just binge watched everything, just watched every episode I could watch, and I just become obsessed with it. And if I had something new, like Pine Straw Job or anything like that, we'd learn how to do it. I'd ask questions. I had several buddies with successful lawn care businesses here that I could call and ask questions also.
Dude, no kid. That's awesome. So what do you remember the first video that was promoted to you, or do you remember how it was promoted to you? Like, I feel like so many of us just randomly got a mowing tall grass promoted to us, video or something like that,
Yeah, I think I actually got on there and started looking at mowers, and then, y'all popped up with certain videos. I couldn't remember I just remember watching yours where it would just be straight up just mowing videos, and all you did was mow and video. I loved it.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? I remember. Yeah. I remember 5 years ago. I'm coming up here on 5 years starting YouTube, but I remember 5.25 years ago, if that's a thing. I was watching some Greg Chisholm Geek to Freak videos and Jason Ambro, some how-to / review videos, and I said, well, I can do that. And I had no idea what I was doing, but I grabbed my little camera that I had just bought my wife for Christmas and started reviewing some lawnmowers. And I wouldn't even really call them a review. I just said, hey, I liked it. It worked great, and we were off to the races, but that's awesome. So what was some of your favorite videos and content that you were watching? Did you like the stripe videos and how to mow and how to do the work? Or was it like the business mindset videos, like how to structure the business and do your billing and paperwork? Or what's the kind of stuff that you like to watch on YouTube?
Honestly, in the beginning, I loved just watch the mowing, watch the striping, watch the work. And then, as it developed, I needed to get smarter and learn the business side of it. And then we started watching all the business side of it. Anything we could get on our hands on the watch, we watched.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So let's fast forward to where you are right now. How's the equipment set up, and what are you running for your mowers, your trailers, and all that stuff? And then where are you going into this upcoming season?
Yeah, actually, once I got laid off, like I said, I had the enclosed trailer and the Gravely Pro Turn 152. Mm-hmm. It was only a few months old, and I bought all my stuff, everything brand new. And I actually bought a Echo 2620 power head and a weed eater attachment and a edger attachment and the Echo backpack blower. And that got me started. And then around July, I knew I needed a second mower. I got a stepson. He's about 14 years old, and he helped me all summer. And so I knew it could make us a lot faster. We were taking on a lot bigger yards, so we actually purchased a Gravely Mach 1 when they first come out.
Oh, wow.
And I love that thing.
Talk about that for a quick second. I haven't seen those in person.
It's unreal. It'll run about 13 mile an hour. It'll mow at 13 mile an hour, the cleanest cut you'll ever see. Manicured yards, lush grass. It cuts the prettiest cut. And anything tall, thick bahia, which is what we deal with around here. Mm-hmm. I don't know if y'all have ever seen that up there.
Nope.
But it'll cut anything knee high. It'll cut it. Cleanest cut you'll ever see.
No kidding.
It don't have no baffles, so don't get clogged up. It's amazing.
No kid.
And we're big Ballard product fans. We buy all of our stuff from Ballard products. We run shoot blockers on all the mowers.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, up here, we don't get bahia, we don't get zoysia, we don't get centipede, we don't get any of that stuff. We get a little bit of fescue mixed in, but it's all Kentucky blue. That's where we get the stripes from, But we don't see a lot of Gravely up here. I had a Gravely. I wasn't overly impressed with the cut quality. The build quality was there, but I don't know. I think I'm not saying they're more made for the South or anything like that, but I've noticed that where they really blossom is down in the South and like the Plain States for that different, thicker type of grass that you guys are mowing down there, So that's really, really cool. So now you got the two mowers that you're rocking, and you and your nephew, or you said you had an employee, I think, full time.
I had my stepson when he's out of school, but I have a full time employee. One of my good buddies starts this Monday.
Nice, good job. Yep. Congratulations, first employee.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yep.
That's awesome.
He's worked with me part-time off and on, but now I just took on a 26-acre cemetery.
Whoa.
And so I had to have a second person. I needed them full-time, so that's a big deal for us there.
Wow, a 26-acre cemetery. That's
It's 16 acres. 16 acres of actual graves, and it's like a uphill, like upscale cemetery here. High end. They're not allowed to have no rock beds or any kind of, it's just a headstone. They're only allowed to have one flower. It's all irrigated. It's got shrubs. Yes.
Wow. No kid. Is yeah, you don't have to tell me what you got for a weekly cut, but is that large account, like 10, 20, 50 grand, whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably closer to 50 grand a year.
Wow. No way. That's awesome, man.
It's crazy.
Did you ever like have the idea of like doing the graveyard was like for you or not? Like, is it creepy or I'm just being weird,
No, no.
There's a graveyard right where I live and where I cut grass and I make a left and it's my Tuesday route and it's right on the main road, right on the corner. Everybody passes it every day, and I see the city takes care of it because there's no way any person where I live would mow it just because it's so hard to mow. It's tiny passes and the stones are in the ground and you run over them, you're gonna dull your blades out, all that kind of stuff. And so basically, it's probably like a 5-acre property that you just got to trim. And I see the city guys in there like once every week or every 10 days, and they're just there's 6-7 guys in there, man, with weed whackers just the whole day. And it's probably not the worst in the spring, but when it's like 85, 90, 95 degrees out, that's going to be fun. But what are you guys going to do in there? Is it mowable? Do you guys got to do a lot of trimming, or how's that going to look?
Yeah, it's actually everything's put out perfect. It's all mapped out where you got straightaways. There's rows of headstones and they back each other back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And there's rows. You can put 2 or 3 passes down with a Mach 1 in between each row. There's a lot of weeding, but everything can be mowed. You can actually should be able to mow all 26 acres within a day.
Really? Holy cow, man. Good for you. Where'd that account come from, if you don't mind me asking? Do you know somebody or?
Well, something I've done. When I started, I researched people who own stuff, found out who owned what, emailed them, shot a shot at them, and it come back to me within a couple of years. I'd actually hit him up when I first started, and he contacted me just recently and sent me out there and gave it to me.
Well, hold on there, because that's a great tip. I mean, that's somebody who's not waiting around for it to happen. You're going out there and making it happen. So, did you find their info on like Google and just shoot it like a random office manager, like an email or something like that?
Well, Waycross is more of a smaller town, so everybody knows everybody, and I just asked around, and somebody got the guy's number. But a lot of things I do, what I would look up, businesses, I would try to find out emails I could get a hold of them if I knew them, like a church or something that I can't just go up there and knock on the door. And we'd email say, hey, we're Southeast Lawn Pro, we're looking to take on to a lawn account. If you could, if you're interested, please contact us back. And they're paid off sometimes.
Wow, that's awesome. I remember I see like an Instagram quote, all the Instagram quotes and memes. It's like, good things come to those who wait, but only that which is left behind by people who hustle. And I'll tell you what, we have a strip mall by us. It's kind of like kitty corner. It's where I get Firehouse subs. And one day I was in there and I noticed that the grass was a little disheveled. The mulch beds weren't being kept up on. And frankly, I had a site, an eighth of a mile down the road. And so I'm like eating lunch at either Firehouse or I think it was the Dickey's barbecue pit there. And I support the local businesses. So I'm at that Dickey's barbecue pit every 2-3 weeks. And I just asked the guy that was the store manager, I said, hey, this place is brand new, but it was looking a little rough. Like, I don't know if somebody just didn't get those first few cuts in the, spring or what was going on there. But I said, hey, who's running this place and what's going on here? And he goes, oh yeah. He goes, it's looking a little raggedy, as my friend Paul says, raggedy. That word definitely originates from Ohio, but I was like, what's raggedy? And he's like, it just means like disheveled. I'm like, okay. So I called up, or I had the guy from Dickey's barbecue pit get me in contact with the owner of the complex, the whole place. And I just emailed him a couple times. I said, hey, I'm looking to expand business. We're a lawn care service in the area. Do you want a quote or a bid? We didn't get it this last year, which is okay. But again, it's a couple acre property and I know it'd be a 20, 30 grand a year account. But that's the thing. Like we're trying to chase down that business outside of doing YouTube and outside of doing the podcast. Like I'm still trying to chase it down just like you guys are out there, and you gotta dig up that work and try to network. So that's really, really, where did you learn to do all that? Was that something that you knew previously, or?
No, it's just something I thought of. It's just in me. We would actually, if we see a business that look rough, we'd go in there and ask, hey, who's the manager? Hey, and see if we could get it. You get a lot of no's, but it pays off when you get that yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. By us, we have a couple hotels I've bid on. I noticed that these couple gas stations, they were trash, which sometimes isn't a good thing to bid on because you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And if people know where I live, some people that listen to the podcast, they live right by me and they know which ones I'm talking about. But I called the people and I was bidding on them, and we didn't get them 2 years ago, but I still message them every spring. Hey, if you want this place looking like spick and span, we can clean it up. And so we're always trying to beat the pavement. The reason I just press you for that is I get a lot of folks ask me, Brent, hey, where do you get these commercial accounts? And it's not always, Google my business where they find you.
That's right.
It's okay to network. And we picked up a new commercial site from at my dealer. One of the service managers, one of his church members, runs a business a quarter mile from where I live, and they needed somebody to plow the snow. And it's just like a friend of a friend gets you in, and we have a brand new commercial site that is actually pretty lucrative for us. So it's just getting that name out there, doing good work, and just letting people know that, hey, you have a business. Don't live under a rock. It's okay to make an Instagram post or a Facebook post and say, hey, we have Southeastern Lawn Pros. We're looking to pick up lawns in the the Waycross, Georgia area. If you guys need lawn service, or somebody might needs lawn service, or is an office manager, give us a shout. We'd love to take a crack at it. I mean, that's a great way to expand business. So
Sure.
where are you guys at right now for going into 2021? If you made it through 2020, knock on wood, I think you can make it through anything. So where do you plan to go into 2021, and what are you excited about now?
Well, we're mainly looking to, take on a few more accounts and hire as we grow. When that time comes and I need to hire a second one, I'll hire a second one. I don't know if we're going to be comfortable with 1 crew, 3 crews, 5 crews. I'm just going to take it as it goes. I would like to start a full-time landscape crew, honestly.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Is that where the passion is, or do you guys more like the mowing, or?
Both, but I love landscaping. It's to us and where we live. If you just mow, you can make a good living, but to really make it and make good money, you need to do landscape, irrigation, sod, anything. The more you do, the more money you make, the more networking you get, more possibilities.
Yeah, absolutely. What's this thing about pine straw, man? For all my northern people and myself, all the northern and Midwesterns, what's pine straw? Because for us, pine straw and pine needles, they're a nuisance. And down there, you guys buy it and put it in your landscape beds. What's going on?
That's exactly right. Well, there's pine trees everywhere. It's just pine tree heaven here, and it looks good to beds. It's cheap. You can get in, put it in pretty quick, and freshen the bed up, make a world of a difference. A lot of people have pine trees in their yard, and so they make use of that, make pine beds and everything else out of it. And so it's about, we can get it around here about $3 a bale, and we try to lay it about $5 and up a bale.
Wow. So how many bales do you need to do a nice landscaping bed, property?
Honestly, pine straw goes further than anything. I mean, you can do in front of my house 10 bales, and the whole fronts and the sides are all landscape.
So give me some prices. So if you buy it for 100, you sell it for 350, 400, or?
Yeah. Like I say, if I get 100 bales, $3 a bale, $300, we deliver it in, lay it for about $5 a bale.
Wow.
And then also we have some Spanish guys that we get it from. They'll actually lay it for $4 a bale. We can charge the customer $5 a bale, not lay it at all, and still make money.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome, man. That's really, really cool. Again, up here, we don't really we don't really like the pine needles, where they get in the way, and everybody always asks us to rake them up or vacuum them up with the mowers, But that's funny. So how many customers are you looking to get into with the mowing? Is that something that you want to get another 20, 30 customers this year, or outside of the landscaping?
Yeah, we're looking at least to get 20 more. Not take on too much where more than 2 or 3 guys can't handle it. But we're actually mostly looking to get into commercial accounts this year.
Okay. What's the appeal there?
Just more money.
Sure. Do those kind of accounts pay a little bit better for you guys down south, or?
That's right. Yeah, that's where the money is around here. Is mostly commercial accounts, and they're the ones that'll do year round.
Yeah, up here it's commercial can do pretty well, but a lot of the big guys already have it, and the price has been beaten like down forever. So it's kind of like you can get it, but is it going to be profitable? That's another question. But
that's right.
Well, I was
down here. It's more of who you know when you get in these properties.
Okay, sure. Makes sense. Yeah, because I was listening to, or I think it was maybe even Richie Plemons when he was on our show. He went all in with like these HOAs and large apartment complexes, and he said they were way more profitable than some of his regular mowing.
That's right. And that's one thing I would love to get into is these bigger apartment complexes, because I'm about 45 minutes from Brunswick, and it's a lot bigger community, and it's where Sea Island is and all, a lot of money.
Okay.
And they have really big apartment complexes and stuff like that. That's more high end, not run down, and that's something we would like to get into.
Nice. There you go, man. Well, yeah, the HOAs and the apartment complexes, those can keep you guys moving. And like you said, if you get that landscaping, like one of the HOAs we manage, we do, I don't know, a third or maybe even half of it is mowing, but the other half is landscaping. And we do all the landscaping in a fraction of the time, in a fraction of the season, versus the mowing, which is what I always call pay the bill money, But
that's right.
So yeah, I hear you there. Get the mowing accounts for the landscaping. But some of my guys out there that are just landscapers only, they're like, well, I can't get these HOAs unless we mow. Well, start a mowing crew, or go mow Thursday, Friday, and do landscaping Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And because sometimes you got to mow those accounts if you want to get all that landscaping, and get a used zero-turn mower for $5,000 or $10,000 and have just a 1 day a week mowing route on Mondays or Fridays. But that's awesome, man. Well, let's go into as we kind of button this thing up, and anything that you want to leave these guys while we got you, because like I said, I love getting you guys that are in your first few years in business on the show. You guys hear me talk all day long, and I want to get you guys talking. I want to get you guys on the show this year, and so I know you said you had a couple of notes and some ideas that you wanted to share with the audience while we had you on. So anything that you want to leave these guys while we got you?
Yeah, just in the beginning, like everybody, we took on everything we can. You got to get out there and get to work. It's not going to come to you. You got to put out door hangers. You got to knock on doors. Go in businesses. Don't be afraid to ask. Hey, you got somebody that takes care of your lawn? Let's look rough. We have our truck and trailer lettered up. We have shirts and hats in the field. So, if somebody sees us, they know we're not just some nephew over cutting the grass. We're actually a professional lawn care business, and that stuff pays off. It's free advertisement. Once you're out there, you pay it one time, and it'll pay for itself 10 times over.
That's awesome. Heck yeah, man. Well, I'm excited for you. Well, hey, you know what? Like I said earlier, good things come to those who wait, but only those that are left by others who hustle. And that one really stuck with me. And somebody DM'd me the other day. They said, this was about a month ago, they said, let's get it today, because if we don't, somebody else is going to get it tomorrow. And I thought that was really good, kind of sense of urgency, and, people are like, they always ask us all the time, Brent, when's the best time to bid commercial, or when's the best time to, bid a new property? And the answer is always. Now, they might renew a contract in the spring or renew a contract in the fall, but you can always have those conversations and stay top of mind with people. And you don't have to annoy people, but keep up with people. One tip I got is anytime you have like an account that you're trying to keep up on, you can always say, hey, if I don't hear back from you in 2 or 3 months, would it be okay if I kept in touch and sent a little reminder email? Or would it be okay if I reached out to you in 2 weeks just to follow up? I don't want to let you fall through the cracks. And they'll say, absolutely. Versus if you call back in 2 weeks, kind of unannounced without permission, they're going to say, man, this guy just won't stop bugging me. Like we don't even want to give him the HOA because he's annoying, But if you ask permission to get back in touch with them and say, hey, do you mind if I follow up with you in 2 or 3 weeks? Is that okay if I don't hear back from you? Absolutely. Yeah, we all get busy. And then that's your role then to make sure you follow up and hold their feet to the coals, So, that's awesome, man. Well, hey, Brent, we'll kind of button this thing up right here. I really appreciate you taking the time to jump on the podcast with us and share your story, your startup story. Where can people find you if they want to follow you along on social media?
Southeastern Lawn Pro on Instagram and on Facebook.
Awesome, man. We'll definitely give Brent a follow here. Southeastern Lawn Pros. He's got a beautiful white trailer, green lettered up. He's got that red Mach 1, I think it is, Gravely Zero Turn. He's cutting that grass and making that cash, as my friend Paul would say. So we really appreciate you taking the time to be on the show, Brent. And one final question I'll ask you. What's some of the stuff that you like to listen to while you're cutting grass and on the mowers 8 hours a day, other than yours truly, I guess, right?
That's right. Once we discovered podcasts, we actually found Paul Jameson, and then I knew you had one because it was I followed you on Instagram, and then we listened to the Green Grind and Julio's guy.
Oh yeah,
I can't think of his
Lawn Care Business Success.
Yep, him and Brandon. What was his name? Britt Dowd.
Britt Dowd. Yep, Lawn Care Leaders Podcast.
Yep.
Britt's a great dude. He's
right.
He's ornery, man. He's fidgety, so that's why I like hanging out with him. He's always moving, like snapping his fingers. So
that's right.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, I got to say thanks for being on the show. Personally, just for diversity, man. We got to get some my Southern friends on the show. It's all these nasally Northerners, and Midwestern folks on the show all the time. And I get DMs all the time. They're like, why can't we get some more Southern friends on the podcast? And I said, because you guys are all busy, too busy being nice to everybody, where you guys are too polite. You got to ask. You got to just, shoot me an email, shoot me a DM, and we want to feature some more of you guys. So I'm just having some fun here being a dork. But hey, Brent, we really appreciate you being on the show. This was a really good time. And like I said, you share the same home state as Mr. Producer and Paul Jameson, was very exciting. And depending on, how Paul's performing on the podcast, you can take credit with that, or sometimes you can just put a little social distancing there and say you never met the guy in your life. You know what I mean? So no, I'm just having fun. But Mr. Producer, we always take care of him because he takes care of us. So, hey, Brent, sincerely, we appreciate you being on the show. And
thank you.
Yeah, anything else you want to leave these guys? But if not, we'll button it up.
I think that's about it.
Awesome, brother. Cool deal. Well, hey, guys, we'll kind of land the plane right here, and we appreciate you guys listening in. Again, thank you so much to you guys that have been leaving those all-important 5-star ratings and reviews. I know Mr. Producer's been reading those once a week here for you guys, and we do appreciate the feedback. I look at them, I read them, I study them. We only read the 5-star reviews because we wouldn't have enough time in the day to cover all the 1-star reviews. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just having fun. You guys have been showing up, and you guys are really kind with your words. So we do appreciate the encouragement. And then also, if you guys want to be on the podcast, we're taking select guests. We do vet. So the prerequisite is you gotta have a great story to tell, and you want to share your story and have fun and just be upbeat. Okay, it's not who's got Instagram followers or YouTube channel or $1 million business, but we do vet. We can't just put anybody on the show. So if you guys want to shoot me a DM, we'll follow up with you that way, or shoot us an email and we can catch up with you guys from there. So, all right, well, Brent, thanks again for being on the show, brother. We'll wrap it up right here. Thanks again.
Yeah, that's a good one. We just can't put anybody on the show, right? And yet, here I am. This is Marty. Now, Brian, I'm just spitballing here, but how about a Lawntrepreneur Academy Live South event? It's simple, easy for everyone to catch a direct flight to Atlanta. Just guessing, but probably a little warmer here in early November compared to Novi. So just planting a seed. When you guys send in your 5-star reviews that Brian was mentioning, feel free to bring your A game. I'd love for you to write something fun and pithy. And before we jet, let's thank our friends at Exmark one more time for providing funding for today's show, and listen up.
In lawn care today, with the right equipment, you can do jobs quickly and correctly. Hi, Jonathan Guineri here. As a product manager at Z Turf Equipment, I'm focused on innovations that help you get jobs done faster without sacrificing the quality your customers expect. From our acclaimed Z Spray spreader sprayers to our Z Aerate line and beyond, you can do more in less time. Visit zturfequipment.com today to learn more about our innovative line of products.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.